Welcome back to Melody Guitar Book 1. This is a free course designed to help you learn to read and play melodies in standard music notation. You can download this book for free from my website. I'll leave a link for that in the description. We're going to be looking at pages 15 and 16 with a new note, the fourth line D. At the top of page 15 we have a new note. This is the fourth line D. It's called the fourth line D because we count our staff lines from bottom to top. So line 1, 2, 3, 4, there is your D note. This is played on the second string, third fret, third finger. So here are the notes we've learned so far. We have the new D on second string, third fret, E, first string open, F, first string, first fret, and G, first string, third fret. Check out those letters above number 20. Those are chord symbols, and those are chords for somebody else to play while you play the melody notes. And the chords aren't always going to match the note name you're playing. For example, the first chord to play there for a teacher or a friend who plays chords is a G chord, but you have a D note. So from now on, whenever you see chords above and you're playing the melody, ignore those chords as much as you can and focus on the melody notes. What I'd like you to do with exercises 20 through 23 is circle each fourth line D. That's your new note. Sing or say those note names as you play. Make sure you're always picking downwards. And if you need to, write a note name above the staff or the counting below the staff. And as I like to remind you occasionally, make sure you're keeping your guitar straight up and down and not flat. Make sure you're holding your pick between your thumb and your first finger. Make sure you're playing your Fs with your first finger on the fingertip, Gs and Ds with your third finger on the fingertip, and your thumb should be behind the fretboard. Before I play through number 20 with the chords, I want to teach it to you without the chords so we can focus just on the melody for a little bit. Make sure you look at the beginning of your music for that time signature. We're in 4/4 time, so we're going to be counting 4 beats every measure. Circle those fourth line Ds, and here's what it sounds like. We have D, E, D, D, E, F, F, E, E, F, E, D, D, E, D, D, E. Then a lot of half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. First measure of 21, we have 2 Ds and 2 Gs. Now the D and the G are on the same fret. They're just on different strings. There's a couple ways you can handle this situation. One is you can play your Ds and then just lift your third finger up and put your fingertip on the G. Another way is you can play your Ds with your fingertip and then collapse your first knuckle to cover the G. A third way is to play the D, say, with second finger and the G with the third finger. So experiment and see which works best for you. Third measure, we have the same situation, D, D, G, G. And you notice I collapse my knuckle a lot. That's my favorite way to do this. At the end of the first line of number 21, we have a D note. And then at the beginning of the next line, we're going to a G. So you can just go ahead and do that same trick and play them that way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 22 is in 3/4 time. Always be in the habit of looking at the beginning of your music for that time signature. Make sure you circle all those fourth line Ds, and if needed, write in some note names above and counting below. 1, ready, play. Number 22, as I mentioned, is in 3/4 time. It's tempting sometimes to extend that beat at the end of a 3/4 measure and play 1, 2, 3, and let that note ring a little longer. That's because most of the music we listen to is in 4/4 time, so we naturally want to extend that beat a little bit, but make sure that beat at the end of each measure goes right to the next measure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so forth. In the third measure, beat 3, I suggest keeping your first finger down from the F, the half note B4, because you're playing F to G and then back to F. So keep that first finger down and you barely have to move. 1, 2, keep it down here. One, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We have one more exercise to look at the top of page 16. This is number 23. We're in 4/4 time. Make sure you circle all those fourth line Ds, and again, make sure you're writing in note names if needed, write the counting underneath if needed, and be sure you're picking downwards on every note. 1, 2, ready, play. Number 23 has a few spots where you're going from a D to a G or G to a D. And again, you can try some of those tricks. You can just lift your finger up and play the Ds and Gs. You can do them with different fingers, or you can do like I do and just collapse your knuckle to get both notes. 1, 2, ready, play. Your assignment is to practice exercises 20 through 23 on pages 15 and 16. Play along with the metronome and also play along with the video so you get used to hearing chords while you play a melody. Spend about a week on these exercises and practice them until you can play the notes accurately and in good rhythm. And then when you're ready, I'll see you on the bottom of page 16 where you're going to learn how to play and count whole notes.